Welcome back, folks. Another live stream. I'm here. We've done, 8 days in a row, and we're going to keep doing it. But I have a very special guest, my co host on the Downtown Rams podcast. It is Alexis Kraft. How's it going, Alexis? And thank you so much for joining me on this live stream.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
It feels weird because I'm like, we're always doing our show, and now I'm a guest on your new show.
I know it is it's definitely weird, and it feels weird like I'm interviewing you type deal. But so all right, so how's everyone doing? Welcome back. I see there's everyone's like, well, where were you guys? All right, so we're here. I know it was supposed to start at 10:30, and then I moved it to 10:45, but we're here
Yeah,
nonetheless.
it's my fault, everyone. I couldn't figure out how to work technology, and I didn't know I couldn't uh, do what a Discord is. I, so we got there. It took us a while, but we got there. I'm here. Albeit I was late, but I was fashionably late. So,
Hey,
and I'm
I
eating
hear you.
caramels right now, by the way.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I got Werther's Originals like an old person, and I'm eating them.
So we had two crazy games today. One that wasn't really that close in the end, and another one that was very close to start the day. So obviously, we have the Buccaneers and we have uh, the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. And it was, well, the first game kind of came down to the wire. What were your thoughts on the first game? And, let's kind of go through it.
Well, man, I'm bummed. And I know here's the thing. So, obviously, first game, Packers, Bucks. And I think that the reason that that game is such a big deal, obviously, it's the NFC Championship game. So it's going to be a big deal no matter what, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but it was Brady versus Rodgers. Like, how much more iconic does it get? You know what I mean? Like, in a weird way, it's like I think we all kind of collectively know that we're at the end of that era, right? We're at Manning's gone, Breeze is now gone. Well, he hasn't, I don't think, officially announced that, but we know that he's gone. And so, to me, this game was probably most likely the last time that either of these guys face each other in a championship game. I'm pretty confident in that. So I just felt like it was a really big deal for that reason. And then obviously, speaking for me personally, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I think that he's the greatest of all time. I think anyone who follows me online knows how I feel about him as well. Um, so I was obviously cheering for the Packers to win for that reason. I just wanted, um, I feel like he deserves another ring, and I'm bummed that he didn't get it. I'm bummed, but the Bucks played better. I mean, they just did. I just felt that, they got outplayed.
I agree. And Green Bay got down in a 28-10 hole and they, climbed back through it. And I mean, you got to give them props for that, but at the end of the day, the Buccaneers made a lot of plays and I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the last call. And I know a lot of people weren't, especially cuz they didn't call the holding penalty on Sean Murphy bunting earlier in the game that, forced Rodgers to throw an interception, but I always say you say that as well. Don't put yourself in a position to lose by the officiating. And I'm not even saying that's why the Packers lost, but they did put themselves in that position to lose that close.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and I think that the coaching was a big thing for me because I just felt like it was weird. I felt like it was very out of LaFleur's character, some of the calls that he made. And I could tell, I watched clips of the post game with Aaron Rodgers, and I know that the decision to not go for it, I forget exactly how much time was left in the game. I don't know if you just mentioned that, but the fact that they didn't go for it, I agree is,
Well, that was weird. I mean,
it was just odd.
you didn't have enough time. Like even say you get everything going correctly, right? So let's say everything goes perfect. They get a stop and then, they punt it back. You're going to have a minute left and I understand it's Rodgers, but you don't have the lead and it's not guaranteed and you saw the way they weren't calling anything. That's why, I guess late in the game it was kind of a shock, especially, for everybody because it was like they weren't calling anything all game and then they threw the flag there. Um, so doing that was definitely it was risky. It was definitely a risky thing, and I don't think it was the best coaching move. I know at the end of the day, a coach, when they make a decision like that, they'll stand by it, but I don't think it was the best coaching move. And now the interesting thing about this game is that I thought Rodgers played extremely well, but the narrative, I'm sure, even though Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions, is going to be that Rodgers didn't get it done, and it's unfortunate because this, I think, really just tells the tale of Rodgers' career. And really it's unfortunate. It's like with the Packers. I mean, I've gone over. I agree with you. I think you and I are kind of we're gonna die on the hill that we believe Rodgers is the GOAT, and we hear people all the time that come on our show like, nah, no, it's definitely Brady. Brady's the GOAT. But I think today was a perfect example of Brady's career in a nutshell. Versus Rodgers. Rodgers doesn't have as many weapons as Brady, and Rodgers still looked better than Brady. Brady throws 3 interceptions, and they still go to the Super Bowl. I think it was a very good, it really wrapped up what those two careers have been. Is that Brady is as great as he has been, even when he hasn't been his best, he's had a defense that's bailed him out. The forced fumble on Aaron Jones that knocked him out of the game, and then of course the holding on with Sean Murphy Bunting that I think absolutely is something that has to be called there. So that's kind of how I look at that. I mean, I just thought it was so fitting how you look at the box score and you're like Rodgers, and then you watch the game, of course, and you're like Rodgers definitely played a better game. The GOAT on the field looked like Rodgers. It just looked like he wasn't on the right team.
Yeah, I agree. And man, I hate giving Tom Brady credit. I listen. I try not to be a hater. I know sometimes I come across as a Tom Brady hater,
Mm.
regardless of how I feel about um his actual talent or whatever. I'm not going to get into that debate, but he certainly won respect from a lot of people like me today. I'll tell you that. I thought that he got bailed out by a lot of mistakes that the Packers made. I do think that's a valid argument. I do think the Packers, in a way, beat themselves. But at the same time, Tom Brady did what he needed to do to win, and he's going to his 10th Super Bowl. And I think that that's a story here. I think that is probably the story here.
It's a pretty crazy story. I do find it funny. It's like who would have thought this would be the storyline, and this is a perfect. I'm like, I mean, we literally knew this. Like we I mean, deep down, we knew this was possible. We knew as soon as they announced that Tampa Bay would host the Super Bowl. We're like, oh, we're gonna hear about this now that Brady's there playing. First team ever to play a home game in the Super Bowl. Should have been the Rams, but it's not. Obviously, it's not going to be because it's already happened for them. But now we get into the other team, the other game, and all of my concerns with Josh Allen, I think, really came to fruition in this game. He took like what, a 40 or 50-yard sack in this game. I mean, I felt like the bright lights were too big for him. And look, Josh Allen is a very talented quarterback. I know you like him. But my concerns have always been the fact that he shoots himself in the foot and hurts his team trying to do too much. And sometimes you live to play another down. The interception to Fenton towards the end of the game, you're throwing in between two defenders. It's not, the receiver drops the ball and it goes right into Fenton's hands, but you're throwing into a really tight window that, it's just not a good decision at the end of the day. So, I think my concerns with Josh Allen definitely arose in this game, and I was kind of, hoping it would be a closer game, and it just didn't turn out that way. Unfortunate because I think, the first game really probably should have been the primetime game. I don't know what they were doing scheduling the NFC Championship game with Brady and Rodgers, not the primetime, but, there it is. Also, AJ Schulte has just come in here, so say hi to AJ, Alexis.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
So that's my thoughts on that. I'll let you speak further on that game.
Sorry, I'm chewing a caramel right now. And it's like sticking to my teeth. But listen, Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen. I've been a Josh Allen stan from day one. Um, you can just go through my Twitter and see everything that I've said about him. But I do agree. He really hurt his team. He had that stupid penalty. I get it. He felt that he got hit late or whatever that was, but that really hurt his team when they were down. Like they were, if there was ever a time to just let something go, it was then. And I just think it's a sign of maturity. I think that he should have let that go and he didn't, and it hurt his team. I
That
think
was awful.
obviously, yeah, and I think he obviously didn't play up to par either. I think they still would have lost with the way that they were playing, but I'm just saying that really hurt, especially because they could have mounted technically a comeback then, and then weren't able to. So that sucks for them. Um, I think the thing with the Chiefs that's so weird to me is like they really don't have a defense. Like I get that their defense made some plays tonight, but I don't know if that was because of their defense or because the Bills' offense just played horrific. But like to me, the Chiefs are such a weird team because I don't think that they're the most talented team in the AFC. Now, obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a freak. I mean, he's a god at quarterback. I acknowledge that. But to me, when I look at the Chiefs roster, I mean, yeah, their offense is good, but I don't think that they're the most talented team in the AFC. I don't think that they're any more talented than a couple of teams in the NFC, but I think that Mahomes makes it possible for them to win any game.
He
Now,
does.
when I'm looking at them going against Tampa, my instinct is to go with Tampa because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady has the experience. Yes, Patrick Mahomes has won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady has won 6. Tom Brady is going to his 10th Super Bowl, and I think that team of the Bucks is way more sound than the Chiefs because the Chiefs to me they have their offense and they don't really have much going on defense. The Bucks are stacked on offense and arguably stacked on defense when everybody's healthy. And the Bucks have a lot of underrated players on their defense as well. And they have a lot of young good players. You look at Sean Murphy Bunting, Devin White, Vita I think it's pronounced Vita Vea
Yeah,
actually.
Vita Vea.
But yeah, he's back. So again, the Tom Brady argument is why I would go with the Bucks. But even if it wasn't for Tom Brady, if I'm taking him out of the equation and I'm still looking at the Bucks roster versus the Chiefs, I think I would still take the Bucks.
It's weird because I feel like everyone assumes me to pick the opposite of Tom Brady winning. And I find myself sitting here, I'm thinking, Tampa Bay is going to win this. I mean, I just think, they have too many weapons. I think Brady has been very comfortable in a scheme that they love to air the ball out. And I think when you look at, all the quarterbacks that set their career high in interceptions with Bruce Arians, with, Andrew Luck and Jameis Winston and Carson Palmer, Tom Brady had maybe one of his best seasons in this, system, in this scheme. So, I think he feels more comfortable. They're going to have Antonio Brown back by then, in all likelihood. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Cameron Brate, Gronkowski, who was huge for them, who's been huge for them down the stretch. And just the way they're running the football, with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. I just think there's too much there. The offensive line's played well. Um, I think they caught fire at the right time. And one thing I'll say, and that a lot of people don't talk about this, they had a really late bye. It was either like week 13 or like week 4. It was a really late bye. And I think that is just, it helped them. At the end of the day, they got a huge break towards the end of the season. And I think they're, a lot fresher than other teams. They get to play a Super Bowl at home, which is where they've been the best. And they've been playing their best football as of late, where I feel like the Chiefs in this game, while they looked really, really, really good against the Bills, my biggest thing is when they're in too many close games and they don't finish teams off. They did a good job in this game of not letting it get out of hand. But I also think, Tom Brady, even though he turned the ball over 3 times today, I don't feel like he's prone to doing that. Whereas I feel like Josh Allen gives you an opportunity to do that. So I don't even see them, making Brady have to do too much. If they can run the ball on the Chiefs, which Josh Allen had 88 yards rushing this Chiefs team does get hit with, in the run defense. I just think that the Bucks with their pass rush and getting to Mahomes and their secondary, I think they can do enough. And look, Rodgers played super well. I expect Mahomes to play well, and I still think at the end of the day, I think Tampa Bay is going to win. I would prefer the Chiefs to win. I'm not the biggest Brady fan, as people know. I wouldn't say I'm a hater, so to speak. I mean, but I just when I look at it, I just don't see a way that like the Bucks. And here's the thing: I'll also say I don't think the Bucks are the best team in the NFC. I really don't. I think the best team in the NFC probably was, Green Bay, and I think they got them in a weird game. I think if they played that Green Bay game the Rams went up against last week, it's a whole different story. But that's kind of the nature of the beast here is that like the Rams beat the Bucks and the Rams lost to Green Bay, so it's like you never really know, and so. I look at Tampa Bay as they may not be the best team in the NFC, but they're representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. They won when it mattered. They've won a lot of road games, in the playoffs. So I think they're going to do it again. I think they're going to win at home, and I just think at the end of the day, I think the Chiefs' defense plays better than they truly are on paper. And I think part of that is a credit to Spagnuolo and Blaine Grisak just mentioned that. Somebody that I do think should start getting head coaching consideration again because he had that run in St. Louis. But I don't know. I look at everything Tampa Bay has, and I think they're just probably the most well-rounded team. When Tampa Bay beat the Packers, I said the winner, no matter who wins, Tampa Bay or the Packers, the winner's going to come out of the NFC. And I think the AFC has been kind of the better conference all season long, whereas the NFC has been more top-heavy. But the top-heavy NFC, I think, is going to end up with the Lombardi on their side. And, again, it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know if I'd say I wouldn't mind Mahomes winning a second one when I'm sitting here as a Rams fan. You're sitting here as a Rams fan. You're like, well, we probably should have won in 2018. But I don't know. I don't really – I have a hard time betting against Tampa Bay playing at home.
I do too, and like I said, I genuinely think that Tampa Bay's roster is a lot more talented, and I know that to some people who might kind of only know the roster on a surface level, they might think that that's crazy, but I do think from head to toe that Tampa Bay is more talented. I just think they're more sound. But Patrick Mahomes, you see in the Super Bowl, you see kind of like the emergence of what the new quarterback prototype is in Patrick Mahomes, and then you kind of see the last of the old school quarterbacks in Tom Brady. So it's a very, in a weird way,
Great point.
symbolic. It's very like a who's going to come out on top? Is it going to kind of be Tom Brady, 10th Super Bowl, the last remaining of the greatest, arguably the greatest quarterback era, or is it going to be the new kid on the block? Is it going to be Patrick Mahomes? And here's the thing, I know Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs will be back. This is not going to be their last Super Bowl appearance. I don't know if it'll be next year and the year after, or if it'll be, years from the next Super Bowl, but I know that they will be back. Will Tom Brady be back? It's a question because you ask yourself if he wins.
It's so, I
I,
mean,
I,
how
I don't
good this team is, like just from, head to toe, it's like this team is very, very talented. So, I mean, I would be absolutely shocked if he retired after winning. But, I mean, you obviously have to keep that in mind. But I just think he's such an animal. And, I mean, do you look at Tom Brady and think, wow, he's really old? I mean, he looks younger than most young quarterbacks in the league. It's really weird. He's on some weird thing, like this weird regimen, because I don't know what it is. I mean, he just seems like he's like going backwards and like it's like he's de-aging. It's just bizarre.
Yeah. No, I know, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If Tom Brady wins this Super Bowl, right?
Mm.
He wins his seventh ring. I think he keeps playing. I don't
Oh, I do too. I agree with
I
you. I agree on that.
you know, I remember for whatever reason I remember his father saying to a reporter, I don't remember which year. It might have been the year that they played the Rams in 2018, the Super Bowl, 2019, but he said, I think it's going to have to end badly for him. And that kind of stuck with me because I can see why, if you're winning, sure, you're 43, but because my philosophy would be go out on top, right? Like, I don't want to go out like Breeze.
AJ
Like, if
said he
I
found
want to,
the Infinity Stones.
probably did. I mean, let's be real, it's the only explanation. But is Tom Brady going to go out on top, or is he literally going to play until he can't move anymore? Because there's a very different philosophy, I think, with really good athletes. I mean, you look at Michael Jordan, who was like, I don't want to play, like, I don't want to go out with every bone in my body like broken. Like, I want to go out, you know, when I feel that I'm mentally ready to go out.
Yeah.
Um, Other guys literally would want to play until they're basically, like Drew Brees, they can't throw the ball anymore. So, and I'm not saying one way is right or one way is the other. I think it's a personal decision for everybody, but I do think that Tom Brady falls into the category of guys who literally will not quit until there's nothing left in them. And I think if he wins, I think he keeps playing. If he loses, I think he keeps playing. But there are people who wonder, like, is he going to go out on top? Is he going to shock everybody? Is he going to go win this Super Bowl and then is he going to be done? We're obviously not going to know until it's over. But I think honestly, he's got at least two more seasons after this left in the tank from a physical standpoint, barring no freak injury. If he goes out and tears an ACL, I think he is at the point where recovery from that is probably not happening. But it's just wild. Like, I see him being around for at least two more, three more seasons after this. And I know that might sound a little out there, but how can it sound out there when you watch what he's doing right now?
I don't think he's that far away from retirement. I don't think he's that close to retirement because I saw this year. There were times where I was like, okay, like he's going downhill, but he finishes the season with a 65.7 completion percentage. This is somebody that's throwing in Bruce Arians' scheme where it's no risk it, no biscuit. They go deep down the field, very like he's throwing shots like constantly. He goes for 4,633 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 102.2 passer rating. His season was unbelievable, and I think he would obviously get a mention if Rodgers' season wasn't just so good. I mean, Rodgers had, I think, the most impressive season we've seen in a little bit because his interceptions, he only threw like 5. 2 of them came in the Buccaneers game earlier in the year. And I mean, he's also throwing deep down the field. It's not like a dink and dunk offense. So, it's definitely something to keep in mind. Mahomes had a great season. Now here's the interesting thing here is that the MVP has never won a Super Bowl. So everyone's expecting Rodgers to be the MVP, and Rodgers is not going to be in the Super Bowl. It's Tom Brady versus Mahomes. But if they do give Mahomes the Super Bowl, or Mahomes the MVP, he's gonna have to do something that no one's done before. Now, with that being said, who would you give the MVP this season, Alexis?
I feel so weird saying Aaron Rodgers after today.
Why? He was
You
awesome.
know,
Wasn't his
uh,
fault.
I Aaron Rodgers. I would give it to Aaron Rodgers. Here's the thing. I get that the Packers have some talent on offense. Okay, they have Devonte Adams, they have Aaron Jones, but they have Devonte Adams and Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers. Um, you know, in my opinion, that Packers offense. I mean, Robert Tonyan kind of emerged, especially towards the end of the season. I think he's going to be a good player for a long time. So you can add him to that list.
Yeah,
So, but Aaron Rodgers is how old now? 38, 37?
37.
Uh, 37, and he threw what? I think what was the final after the regular season? I think it was 41 touchdowns.
Okay, so
Um,
he threw,
I'm not looking at it.
including the playoffs, he threw, let's see here, 53 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
That's insane.
I mean,
I mean, who does that?
his career's insane. 412 touchdowns and 89 interceptions, not including postseason.
Yeah, I know. It's I just the way that he played to me, because in my mind, when you look at most valuable player doesn't always mean most talented player. Um, if MVP meant most talented player, it'd go to Aaron Donald every year. But that's not what it means.
Yeah,
MVP, in my opinion, and I think the NFL's general opinion is a player that if you removed them from that team would absolutely go to shambles. Like they are the most valuable player to their team in the NFL. So, in my opinion, if you removed Aaron Rodgers from the Packers, I don't think would be a playoff team. Maybe because of the way the NFC North went. Maybe. But Aaron Rodgers is the Green Bay Packers. Okay? Josh Allen also made a very, very good point to be, or had a good case to be MVP as well, I think, to the Bills. But in my mind, if you remove Josh Allen from the Bills, I still think they're a pretty talented team. I still think that they're a playoff team. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't think that he wouldn't have been worthy of the MVP because I felt he also played very, very well this season. He played insane out of his mind. Um, but in my opinion, Russell Wilson, which pains me to say as a Rams fan, but he's another one of those guys that if you removed Russell Wilson from the Seahawks, they are terrible. Right.
I
So
agree.
when I think of MVP, I think of who is the guy that literally is his team. Patrick Mahomes, I understand that argument again because I do think if you take Patrick Mahomes from the Chiefs, they aren't a playoff team. So I understand that argument as well. But to me, this season, the guy that was the lifeblood of his team was Aaron Rodgers more than anybody else. I'm not saying, I mean, again, like the other guys I mentioned, if they were to get the MVP, I would understand it. They're not my pick, but I think that if it were up to me and who I think should be the MVP, it's without a doubt Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think it should be Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's even close because Tom Brady has the interceptions that Aaron Rodgers does not. He hit double digits. Josh Allen has 37 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes didn't get to 40 touchdowns. Rodgers was just so efficient. And I really don't think it's close. It's weird because those guys played super well, but I mean, just Rodgers is just was on another level. And I think part of the thing is he bought into a scheme that it's a Sean McVay. They're basically running a Sean McVay offense from 2018 with Aaron Rodgers under center. So there you have it. I mean, I wasn't shocked that he ended up being as good as he was. I wasn't shocked at all. Now, here's an interesting thing because I saw someone mention it. Yeah, entry. I am cheating on Canada Dry again. I got my Sprite here. um, no. So here's the interesting thing. Someone just mentioned. I'm trying to find it. Okay, Gumby Jesus says if Rodgers had the weapons that the Bucks had, then he would have thrown 60 touchdowns.
Yep,
I agree.
100%. It's like my argument that if Aaron Rodgers had played for the Patriots instead of Tom Brady during all that, they would have won 10 Super Bowls. I literally, nothing anybody says can make me think otherwise. If you would put Aaron Rodgers in his prime, which I hate to break it to everybody because he's playing so insane, this isn't even his prime, okay? If you would have put Aaron Rodgers in his prime on that Patriots team with Bill Belichick, they would have had 10 Super Bowls.
I mean,
Literally, no one can change my mind. Like, the fact that, the and again, I'm not trying to be a Brady hater. I'm not trying to project this as like I'm dissing Brady, but I kind of am. But when you watch Aaron Rodgers play and you watch Brady play, how can you tell me that Tom Brady's more talented than Aaron Rodgers?
he's not.
How?
He's.
He's
I mean,
not. It's
he's
not even
not.
close. And so, I truly think, and I'm of course right now can't remember who was on Aaron Rodgers' team. I'm trying to think when they won the Super Bowl. It was like Jordy Nelson. I'm picturing him in my head as other receiver that he had. He had Jordy Nelson
Well, he had Jordy
and
Nelson, and I think he had Donald Driver and
but the Hail Mary guy,
Greg Jennings.
Jennings, and he had. I would I'd say he definitely had a lot more of a talented team than he does currently. Um, and I think that Brady, his whole career, had weapons, and people
Agreed.
always want to say that he didn't. But he really did. I mean, you look at every Super Bowl that Tom Brady won. I mean, his team was so talented, and not only on offense, on defense, of course. The Patriots, I think, have had, to be fair, underrated defenses, which is weird to say because Belichick is such a defensive mind. But I think it was hard to kind of like when you look at what Tom Brady's done for the offense, I think you kind of underscore the defense and don't give them the credit they deserve. Um, but I think, like I said, it's a very kind of nostalgic thing because we are looking at the end of that era with Rodgers and Brady. And Breeze is part of that, obviously, but he's gone. He hasn't officially announced that, but we all know it's coming. Philip Rivers is gone. Eli Manning's gone. Peyton Manning's gone. Uh, so really, who do you have? I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers and you have Tom Brady. And see, I mean, I'm trying. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody there. So I really wanted to see Aaron Rodgers win one more ring because I feel like he's deserving of it. I feel like he is the most talented quarterback of all time. But of course, when you look at the historic argument of what will be who is the greatest of all time, I understand why the answer is Tom Brady because at the end of the day, it's hardware, it's rings. He did it. He won. Do I think that Aaron Rodgers would have done more if he was put in the position Tom Brady was put in? Yes, I do. I stand by that. I think most people probably can agree from a talent perspective that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. But then the argument is, does talent really matter? As crazy as it sounds, does talent really matter, or does it matter that you just get the job done when you get there? Who knows? I don't know what that argument is. I'm not going to pretend. I've never played quarterback in the NFL. I don't know what's more important. And arguably, I'm going to say that it's just getting the job done is more important because the goal is to win. And Tom Brady won six and Aaron Rodgers won one. So maybe that's the argument.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's here's the thing. I never watch Aaron Rodgers like crumble, and when it happens, I mean it's very rare. Like we saw earlier in the year against Tampa Bay, and that didn't happen again. And Tampa Bay's defense may have had his number then, but then he came back and was a monster in this game. And AJ is just saying, bro, if you think pressure exposes Brady, I mean pressure will, that's the thing. Pressure puts stuff on everybody. It's like quarterbacks get pressured, and that happens. I do think he was very well protected today for sure. Let's see here. My guy, I just saw him. My guy Hunter Thompson. Tom Brady is the winningest of all time, but Rodgers is probably the most talented of all time. And I think here's the thing, folks. When you guys are listening to us talk about this, the GOAT conversation is, to me, it's about how, what is your definition of, because I think it's subjective. What is your definition of greatest of all time? Because if mine to me is who is like the greatest of all time? Who's the greatest player? Who is the best player? Who is the most talented player? I think all of those kind of combine for me. But other people, they like to separate them. They say Tom Brady is the GOAT, but Aaron Rodgers is the most talented. And it's like, for me, I don't look at it like that, but I think maybe we have looked at the GOAT all wrong because, it's kind of like with Jordan, a lot of people say he's the GOAT, obviously. But it's like, what's your definition there? Do you think he's the greatest of all time? Do you think he's the best player? Do you think he's the most accomplished, 5-0 in the championships? Tom Brady winning 6. I kind of feel like when you look at Rodgers, I think he's the most talented, and like, I think LeBron James is in the argument for the GOAT conversation. And the thing is, when I look at, say, like, the conversation right now, I mean, Alexis, if you had to pick 5, do you think that there are 5, first off, do you think there are 5 players in the NFL that would be in the GOAT conversation?
No.
Okay, so who would
Wait,
be
wait.
in there?
Are we talking about a quarterback? I
Um,
assume.
Yeah, so like in the NFL, like I mean, honestly, I think Jerry Rice would have an argument there. He is just by far the most dominant, like stats wise. No one will ever break his stats, so you could make that argument. But Like, who would you put if you're talking NFL, like football GOAT? Who's in the conversation for you?
I mean, again, if you're talking about talent, not Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald. If which I don't know if is that a correct answer? We're doing everyone right.
Well,
Um,
I guess kind of
or were you
like,
looking offensive? Or were you looking like
yeah,
because to me?
let's stick with
Okay, so we're
quarterbacks,
still in offense.
but like
Okay,
like all right, so first off, before I ask you that, what is the definition of greatest of all time to you? Like what does GOAT mean to you? That's what we have to establish before we hear you out on like your point, because like you know how I feel about it, but now I'm interested to hear how you feel about like what do you describe it as?
it, I'm contradicting myself because I've said Tom Brady's not the GOAT, but to me, it's a mixture of a few things. I look at stats. I look at stats, whether that be, we're talking about quarterback, whether that be passing touchdowns, passing yards, wins, and then obviously you get into championship, Super Bowls, or whatever. But there is that side of me that looks at talent because to me, stats can only tell you so much of the story. Now with quarterback, it's a little hard. With quarterback, it is a little hard. With other positions, you could have guys. I mean, you have guys all the time who jump from team. They go to one team and they ride the bench, but they win a Super Bowl, right? And they go
Mm,
to another team and they ride the bench, and win a Super Bowl.
yeah,
So you can't always say, oh well, that dude won 3 Super Bowls, but it's okay. But what did he do? With quarterback, it's a little hard because you are the quarterback unless you're like Jimmy Garoppolo, who won I think two Super Bowls with New England, but didn't play.
yeah,
Um, but I say if I'm looking at my GOAT quarterback, as far as a statistical standpoint, I could make the argument for Tom Brady. Obviously, how could you not? He's won
yeah.
six
No,
Super
absolutely.
Bowls.
He's absolutely in the
But
conversation for me as well.
when I'm looking at the eye test, when I'm talking about guys that I've seen play quarterback, who's the most talented to me, who in the league, it's Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not someone, again, I don't really watch a ton of old tape, right? Like, I think I was raised to think like Joe Montana was the best or like a Dan Marino, but you look at, you want to talk about like Super Bowls and stuff like that. That's another situation. But think of it this way: Patrick Mahomes has won one Super Bowl. If he never wins another Super Bowl again, if the Bucks beat Patrick Mahomes and they never get back to the Super Bowl or they never win another Super Bowl again, are we going to say that Patrick Mahomes wasn't an insane quarterback?
Exactly. It's the same thing
We
with
are.
Rodgers. I mean, he said like early
Yeah.
on in his career, he had, finally the number 2 defense. He's only had 2 top 10 defenses in his entire career, and one of the two he won a Super Bowl. And that was probably he had not even come close to his ceiling at that point. So no, I agree with you.
Yeah. So to me it's like it's tough. It's tough because again, like you said, you have to clarify what goat is in your mind. And to me, I'm always inclined to go with the talent. I'm always inclined to go with Aaron Rodgers because to me it's like not even remotely close on a talent scale between him and Brady. But then, maybe I'm taking the wrong approach. Look at today. Brady won and Rodgers didn't. Brady has won 6 Super Bowls. Rodgers has won one. But again, you use the eye test. You say, I've seen Tom Brady playing Super Bowls. I've seen his Super Bowl winning teams. Look at his team right now. It's stacked. Okay, it's stacked. Aaron Rodgers does not have a stacked team at all. Not in my opinion, not even close. But he plays so incredible, and I just think I don't know. It's tough, and I get why it's an argument. I think most people think you're insane if you don't think Tom Brady's the GOAT. I think that's pretty clear. Um,
Which I think we
and
need to do a better job as a sports community to realize that not everybody looks at GOAT as the same. I mean, it's the same people that say, well, if you think like, Jordan isn't the GOAT, you're insane. I mean, he's not, he doesn't lead all time in scoring. That's Kareem. LeBron James is like literally getting triple doubles nightly now. You have Bill Russell had 11 championships. It's like, if you're going to use the championships with Jordan, why don't we use the championships with Russell? Because I would argue that Russell has more championships, but Russell wasn't even the most dominant player in his era. That was Wilt Chamberlain. So now you get in a whole other thing, and we haven't even mentioned Larry Bird or Magic Johnson, who played all five. He started all five positions in NBA Finals, which is the only player to ever do that. He was the greatest passer ever, 6'9" point guard, just unbelievable. And I just kind of feel like that's kind of the same thing. Is like you'll have people that'll say on one hand they'll be like, oh well, Jordan's the GOAT because he won 5 titles, but then they'll say, well, Tom Brady's not the GOAT because, titles don't matter. And it's like, I feel like we get too contradicting when we cross over sports. You know what I mean? Like where people will say, well, Tom Brady has been to 10 Super Bowls now. And then you try to say, well, LeBron James has literally been 10 NBA finals, like all 10 straight in a row. And then they'll be like, well, he's, 4-6 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like we need to do a better job of being more consistent. I'm not talking about you, but I mean in general, because I feel like we as fans will be like, well, I like LeBron, but I don't like Tom Brady. So I'm going to like totally change my argument and make, back down on what I was saying and kind of nullify my point to begin with. Do you think that that's a fair, assessment?
I agree, and I think we should probably start differentiating between who, who's the most talented. Like we need to maybe rephrase how we approach things. So if you want to make an argument, who's the most talented quarterback of all time, but then who's the greatest of all time, um, I think that would probably help clarification wise. Or do we start approaching the greatest of all time argument with let's make it about statistics and talent? Because as you were talking, I was sitting here trying to think, okay, so I know who I think the most talented quarterback of all time is. I know who I think the greatest of all time is in terms of statistics, obviously. But who do I think is the perfect mix of that? I'm legitimately trying to think right now. I'm like, who's a guy that if you had to take every category, you had to take statistics, you had to take talent, mindset, whatever you want to factor in. Who is that guy? It's not Brady and it's not Rodgers because you have them at two very different ends of the spectrum. You have the GOAT in Tom Brady, you have the most talented Aaron Rodgers, but who's the guy that's the most consistent in terms of everything? I don't know.
Well,
I
yeah,
truly don't
and
know.
it's interesting as we get comments in here saying it's basically eras destroy goat arguments. Because Jordan and LeBron play in different eras. Obviously, one thing I'll say, and I know you like Jordan, of course, so I'm not trying to trash Jordan, but in Jordan's era, you were allowed to hand check, and now you can't. So that was created separation on a fadeaway or something along those lines. Jim Brown and Walter Payton played in different eras. I think it's different. Like with running backs, it's really interesting too because people will talk about they'll say Emmitt Smith is the GOAT, and I'll say, you know what? It's not. It's never talked about. But why is Marshall Faulk not considered the greatest running back of all time? Like when I look at Marshall Faulk, he was an extension of the coaching staff. He was essentially another quarterback on the field. Everyone admits that. Super intelligent. He was like modern day Larry Shankar, who, if you don't know who he is, he was the running back that made receiving out of the backfield famous with Miami, and he was part of the greatest show on turf, and I think he was the driving force, to be honest with you. He was an amazing, blocker, so somebody that can work in pass pro, could leak out of the backfield, run legitimate routes. You could line him up. And then on top of that, just the moves that he had. I mean, he wasn't Barry Sanders, but he was Barry Sanders light with his movement. And then this guy had the best vision or something, one of the best, sets of eyes and vision as a back. And then the fact is, like, he could break tackles and make men miss. And, he won a Super Bowl. And it just, I look at Marshall Faulk and I'm like, when they went and traded for Marshall Faulk from the Colts, that's what started everything. So I don't know why Marshall Faulk, low-key, isn't considered one of the greatest or the greatest running back ever. We always hear LA fans say Eric Dickerson. He only was with the Rams for, I think 5 years. And really, I think he kind of fell off pretty quickly. I don't think he has as long of a career as Faulk. Faulk would be unbelievable in today's NFL. Then you look at guys like, say, Todd Gurley. You look at Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell. And they're playing in a passing game era. I just feel like, Marshall Faulk was part of the greatest show on turf, and they were new. That was state-of-the-art type of offense, with Mike Martz, as you know. And I just feel like, obviously I'm wearing a Rams hat while I'm saying this. I have a Rams helmet in front of me, so people are obviously going to say I'm biased. But why am I constantly hearing how Emmitt Smith is better when Emmitt Smith has more titles and like that's like your argument and like he had better talent around him for longer? But Emmitt Smith played a ton of years, and so people will be like, well, he had more stats and he won more titles, and I'm like, but who's better? Who's the better runner? Who's the better receiver? Because I don't think anything. You look at Marshall Faulk and you're like, who's better than Marshall Faulk at like everything he does? Name like one guy in each category that's better than Faulk, because I just don't feel like there was a running back that was as intelligent as Marshall Faulk. Obviously, you'd say Barry Sanders, I think, was the better like guy that could juke and had all the crazy moves. But as far as the balance of speed, a little bit of power that I think goes, pretty underrated. He could shake a tackle, run through guys. But his ability as a pass catcher, he's the best pass catching running back I think of all time. And so I just don't think we give enough credit to him. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think that Marshall Falk gets enough credit. It's hard. It's hard for me with running backs because I'm inclined to say Barry Sanders is the best running back of all time. I do not. I don't. Again, is Marshall Falk the most talented running back of all time?
He could be. I don't know for sure. I mean, I
I
kind of
don't
feel
know.
like Barry Sanders was up there, and I feel like we are, honestly, Jim Brown deserves a ton of credit because what he was doing in his era was just unheard of. So I guess when I'm going about the best running backs, I want to go about guys that kind of changed the game. Marshall Faulk changed the game as a receiver, as a receiving running back. Barry Sanders changed the game as a guy that can make moves. He would go behind the line of scrimmage and make all sorts of crazy moves that you only see in college that don't work in the NFL. And Jim Brown ran with a tremendous amount of grit and power that power running game really took off, and Jim Brown made that famous, and he was just unbelievable. So I don't know. I think those three changed the game. Eric Dickerson has the single season rushing record, and then the rookie single season rushing record, so he's up there. And then I think you have to look at guys like Walter Payton. You have to look at LT, and then Adrian Peterson. I think belongs in that category as well. But I think it's gotten to the point where I feel like Emma Smith is somewhat overrated. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of where I'm at.
I agree with you on that. I I'm a big Walter Payton fan.
He's awesome. He
Um,
was
you
awesome.
know, I if someone asks me who the greatest running back of all time is, it's for me it's Barry Sanders or him. Um, but I don't know. It gets you into the argument of like, obviously these guys were before my time. So how
Yeah,
informed can I really be? Because again, when Aaron Rodgers retires and a new generation emerges and all people know about Aaron Rodgers is he won one Super Bowl, we're gonna be like, but you don't understand. You didn't watch him
I
play.
know.
It's like, so I get it. Like how can I truly make an argument for guys that I didn't watch play? I don't know. Maybe I can't. Maybe that's another thing that we have to start, um, acknowledging that we are not equipped to have opinions about people that played before we were born. I don't know.
Yeah, and someone just mentioned Earl Campbell. I think there's nobody that I love going back and watching highlights of. And I try to watch games of old games, but I'll say this. I do think NFL Game Pass. It goes back to I think 2008 maybe of all the games that you can go back and rewatch. I want to get your thoughts. Don't you think they should update? They have every game. Like they easily have every game in their archive. Don't you think they should come out with like we have Disney, Disney Plus, we have all sorts of stuff, right? We have like the WWE network, the NHL, all that. How about the NFL release their archives of all the old games? So when we see NFL 100 lists and you see those guys with other helmets, you don't say, "Well, he wasn't good," or like he played then. We need to have more respect for I think the history of this league. And I think, part of the problem is we have a lot of guys like, say, Nolan Cromwell, or not Nolan, I don't know why I even said Nolan Cromwell, Roman Gabriel, who I interviewed. And I don't know, you might have interviewed him with me. I don't remember, but I interviewed Roman Gabriel, and Game Pass needs to be able to show us, be able to go back, and we have to be able to watch the fearsome foursome, because we sit here and watch Aaron Donald. Maybe there was somebody as dominant as Aaron. I know everyone says Lawrence Taylor, but maybe there's somebody we're missing back in the 60s that, like, the eye test shows you, the stats don't show you, kind of like when Aaron Donald creates pressure and it helps everybody else out. But I feel like there's a guy out there that maybe is going unnoticed because we haven't been able to go back and watch the film, and we'll never be able to do it because they refuse to release the archive. What are your thoughts on that? Because for a while, I'm a big, football history nut, and I just kind of feel like I think it would help today's youth, and we respect more of like those NFL 100 lists and all of that. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree. I think that every NFL game should be available to everybody for free. I mean, if you want to, the NFL is, I don't want to say it's a free service, but local games are broadcasted locally, right? And then you could obviously buy Sunday ticket and all this. But the
Mm.
game of football is free. The NFL itself needs to do a better job of making things accessible to fans, and that's a different argument that you and I have talked about.
Yes. Oh
Um,
man.
but but I do think so, because think of it this way, Aaron Donald, what if Aaron Donald was on the Chiefs right now?
I know.
What if he was on a team that, unfortunately, I'm not trying to diss the Rams, but a team that gets farther in the playoffs than the Rams do, with the exception of the year they went to the Super Bowl. I mean, there's guys that, like, I think what people fail to realize is statistics at the end of a career, they do mean things, but they also don't. Like, it really matters what team you're on. It really matters who you're playing with. It really matters who you're playing against. And I just think a lot of times people unfortunately form their decisions based on statistic. What, like I'm saying, like, my kids will probably be like, "Oh, well, Aaron Rodgers only won one Super Bowl, so he obviously wasn't very good."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, go back and watch the games. I guarantee you, if I sat down and I watched an NFL season from 1980, there'd be guys that I'm like, wow, they're actually pretty good. And of course, there's the argument of like the talent they played against, because obviously players evolve, they get better. They, receivers and now I think are better than receivers in the 80s, with the exception of a few. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but I think that we all have to be better at acknowledging that, like, no one's getting it 100% right. Like, there's no
Yeah.
100% right answer to any question. Like, even as crazy as it sounds, people are like, it's so insane when people don't think that Brady's the GOAT. How could you not? There is no 100% answer, 100% right answer to any of these questions, because what someone else finds more valuable in a player is could be different than what another person finds more valuable. What's more important to them? So I think obviously one of the fun things about sports is debate. One of the fun things about sports is having opinions and going at it with people and all that. But I think at the end of the day, we could all be a little bit better at just being like, there doesn't always have to be a right answer. Um,
I agree.
and I think that that's that.
Well, I think, like one guy that really stands out to me, and I'm a big fan of. I have been looking for his jersey. I can't find it anywhere, but Elroy Hirsch, Crazy Legs Hirsch for the Rams. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All Pro, NFL champion. He's part of the All 50s team, Hall of Fame All 50s team. He had maybe the most dominant season at the receiver position there will ever be. He Listen to this, Alexis. So I think I've told you this before, but hear me out again, and everybody else listening. 12 games they only played back then. So 1951 when they won the championship, 12 games. Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, 66 receptions, 1,495 yards, led the league. Obviously, 66 receptions led the league. Keep in mind, this is not the passing era. This is the I'm going to run the football and have 5 different running backs run the football era. 22.7 yards per reception. He had 17 touchdowns. He averaged 124.6 yards per game. He's one of the most underrated players because he did suffer an injury and, he didn't have that consistency. But that season is so dominant and no one ever talks about it. And I feel like people would talk about it if it was given credit. So I'll also say this. We already established the fact there should be an archive that shows you all the games. You can, It's the same thing as like a streaming service. You can have access to all the games. Wouldn't mind all 22 being thrown in there. Wouldn't mind watching the Fierce Enforcement all 22. But either way, one thing I will say this. The NFL has done a horrible job at preserving the history, not just allowing us as the fans to go in and look at the archive and watch these games, educate ourselves, but on top of it, it's done a horrible job of preserving the fact that they basically made it so NFL championships don't matter. No one cares. If you didn't win a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. And to me, I think you're discrediting your league by doing that. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think it's been I think that the way that the NFL handles a lot of things that involve money are they typically mishandle. Um, I think that it's a disservice to football fans to not have more accessible to us, to not have things more available, less expensive, whatever, like you said, I don't see why every NFL game since the time the game has been around isn't accessible. I think that it would help dispel a lot of arguments
Yeah.
to be able to pull up any game and be like, actually, this is what happened. Watch him do this, not this. I think that it allows people to kind of get away with the laziness of being like, well, he was really good and
Oh,
you
I
had to
know.
see it. You had to be there. Okay, let us be there. Let us go
Exactly.
watch. And maybe from a money standpoint, maybe you're like, okay, the game this season won't be available till 5 years later or 6 years later, right? We don't, we're not going to upload it right away. We're not going to upload everything after the season. I don't know. There's a way that they'll try to monetize it. I personally, I'm not going to pay any money for some type of like streaming service for the NFL. Like if the NFL was like, yeah, we're going to make it NFL Max and
NFL
for
Max,
six
I would
dollars
do that.
for $6 a month you can stream every NFL game ever or whatever. But like actually that brings up a good point because you think of things like NFL Sunday Ticket, right?
Yeah, they
And the
focus
way that
so
that
much on that, but why don't we just make that all free? And then here's the thing, you make all the games free, you put them on a True TV, you put them on a TNT, you put them on ESPN, all that, NBC, we have all those games going on Sunday, right? And then guess what we do? It's very simple. We open up an NFL Max, like you're saying, NFL Plus, whatever you have, and we open up the archives and tell me people wouldn't pay to watch their old, their old teams. I mean, they would absolutely pay for that. And I can tell you right now, AJ is losing his mind. Like he's like absolutely like, oh my God, sign me up right now. Like I'd pay $20 a month. I pay 30. I might pay 40. I mean, think about the content we could create by having that. Going back and
yeah.
like, if there's all 22 even, that would be so cool. And I just feel like they've absolutely dropped the ball. Where you have, the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame, it's right by me. It's not right by me. It's 3 hours away in Cooperstown, New York. But I mean, Cooperstown is so special. And it goes to show you that like the MLB has done a nice job of preserving their history. It's why baseball history is considered America's pastime because they constantly bring it up. They always keep history alive. Think about it. When do you hear about Norm Van Brocklin? He's had this record throwing, what is it, 535? No, it's something crazy. It's like 535 yards in a game, and he's had this record for years, like years. He played in the 50s, so he's had this record, and now no one knows who he is. Like Rams fans know, but they know of him by name. Like they haven't been able to watch him. I actually watched him. There's a Crazy Legs. It's called Crazy Legs. There's a movie, and it's like unprecedented in that time. But there's a black and white movie called Crazy Legs that Rams fans I encourage to check out. I think it's on YouTube. And Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch was actually in that movie. It's about him, being with the Rams, and Norm Van Brocklin's in that, and he and Bob Waterfield are Hall of Fame quarterbacks. But like, that's the thing. Who thinks of those? But what else? What else do you have? You have people that are constantly talking
Well,
about Babe Ruth. You have people that are constantly talking about, a Lou Gehrig. I mean, how many times have you seen the Lou Gehrig speech? Like, you know what I mean? Like Lou Gehrig's speech. Like I've seen that. Like the actual speech That's not like, reproduced or anything. I've seen the actual black and white speech probably 30 times in my life. But when you ever see
Yeah.
anything close to that in football history, I just think it's a joke. And
Well,
this is the most popular sport in this country right now. Like, get it together, NFL.
I'm having an idea.
All right, hit me.
um, so what if the NFL low-key did have a streaming service? Like, hear me out, okay? Because I think part of the issue with all this, I don't want to curse, all the stuff that they put out there is you pay this huge one-time fee, right? For like what, Game Pass, right? I believe that's an upfront payment. I know Sunday Ticket is, whatever you're using. What if they had their own version of like a Netflix where I'm paying $7 a month or $8, hell, even $10 a month, and I have access to every NFL game. I have, maybe I get maybe not access to all the games. I mean, I think it should be access to all the games. I mean, I'd pay $15 a month to have access to all the live games, all the past games, behind the scenes stuff, all that type of thing. What if I think the NFL could pull that off?
They could. I don't know why
I
they
think
don't.
they'd make more money because you have everyone paying $15. Everyone pays $15 a month for HBO Max now. I said I would never do it, and yet I am.
I still haven't
So
done it.
it's like it's just like the NFL needs to get with the times instead of charging people 200 something dollars to watch NFL Sunday Ticket, and then it's not even available to half the people because they're trying to get people to have their station on cable or whatever it is that they're doing.
Hmm.
It's just like you're missing opportunities. Like you are missing opportunities to make
Exactly.
things easier for your fans.
They are, and I'll say this, it goes further than this. And this isn't to bag on the NFL. This show isn't to bag on the NFL, but like we're talking here. We're having great conversation. I mean, you guys are listening to one of our conversations that we'd have off air. I mean, we've talked about this, and I think it's very important to hold them accountable as fans. I mean, first off, I'll tell you this, okay? Straight up, I will say this right now. The NFL has done a piss poor job of promoting their brand. So you want to tell me, one, I need DirecTV in order for it to be NFL Sunday. And oh, now, by the way, you can't even get NFL Red Zone on my cable network. They took it off. So you have to go and stream it on either YouTube Plus, a YouTube subscription, or like Amazon Prime, or you have to get Sunday Ticket. And I'll tell you, you guys want to know a secret? I don't have Sunday Ticket. I have Game Pass. You know what I do? I'm gonna tell this right now, and I'm sure I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't
Don't
really care. No,
incriminate.
no. I'm gonna
You're gonna incriminate
I'm
yourself.
I'm gonna say it.
Hold on,
I'm gonna
hold
say
on.
it.
Can people hear me chewing?
I don't know. I'm gonna say it. Ready?
I'm chewing. I'm chewing caramel.
Ready? I'm going to say it. It's gonna happen.
Michael Jordan is the goat
That's
in the
not what I'm gonna
NBA.
say. Okay, so ExpressVPN, folks. Go get ExpressVPN. Okay,
I don't do this. I'm not involved.
Alexis Kraft is not involved. Go get ExpressVPN. Okay, and when you get ExpressVPN, also go and get Game Pass. But don't get the Game Pass in the United States because there's a little secret here that the NFL doesn't want you to know. You ready for this? So,
Bum bum bum.
so the NFL doesn't.
What's that NFL noise?
Y-
Dun, 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 dun.
So I
And
don't.
the next draft pick is
She
Jake going to prison.
she's trying so hard to stop me from getting in trouble. I don't know. I don't really care. So anyway, if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. You guys,
I just
Alexis
got
will
bullied
take
off the
over.
internet, so I'm trying to save you.
Alexis will take over this platform if I get in trouble. But anyway, VPN, ExpressVPN, they're the best, right? You get ExpressVPN, you get Game Pass, but don't get the United States Game Pass. And we don't always have United States viewers, so you get my point. Just get your VPN, whatever. NordVPN, I prefer ExpressVPN. So once you do that, you're going to go over, you're going to download ExpressVPN or whatever VPN you have. You're going to set it to either the UK or any country that's not the United States. You're going to go on NFLGamePass.com, okay? Straight up, you're going to go on NFLGamePass.com and you are going to get, it's like it's expensive. It's like what, 150? I want to say 150 Game Pass. It's an extra, it's Game Pass Plus, okay? So you're going to go get Game Pass Plus on there. And then when you go get Game Pass Plus, everyone's like, Jake did not kill himself. That They're like everyone's ready. If I go missing, you're gonna go on Game Pass Plus. You're gonna get that. And crazy enough, here's what you can with that VPN. You tap into the UK or Germany or the Netherlands or whatever. You can watch every game on Game Pass without DirecTV. And I don't think it's not that I'm like breaking the rules because you're still paying for it. I mean, I'm sure they're not happy about me saying this, but you can still pay for it. And what I'll say is that, here's why we have to do this because DirecTV has gotten pathetic. They have gotten so pathetic that the NFL now will force people to, like, if you don't have DirecTV, you literally have to buy DirecTV in order to get Sunday Ticket. And if you don't have, Sunday Ticket or what have you, or you don't have DirecTV, the only way you can get Sunday Ticket is if you confirm that you're a student, because that's the only way. We're like, I don't pay TV here. I can't. It's not my fault. So they're like, okay, since you did everything you possibly could, and you're a student, we're gonna allow you to buy. Keep in mind the words I just used. We're going to allow you to buy DirecTV. All right, we're gonna Sunday Ticket. So that's why I use that. Just figured I'd let you guys know. Again, it's like $150. I get it's a lot of money, but it's definitely worth it. You get all the games, including the games on cable. When you run into an issue, say Sky Sports for the UK, Sky Sports will say, like, they'll have a blackout. You just go, you set your VPN, you log out, you set your VPN to say Germany or Netherlands or whatever, and then boom, you do that. So that's it. Okay. That's it. You guys are all joking about me disappearing tomorrow. If it happens, it happens. Okay. But there it is. That's how you do it. I didn't say like go on crack streams or anything like that. I just said that. So that's that. That's how you get a hold of that. But okay. Going back to your point, Alexis, I know Alexis is like quaking in her boots right now that I just said that, but
Oh, no, I'm putting you on mute. What'd you say?
of course you did.
I'm sorry. I was deleting Twitter off my phone legitimately.
Oh
I
wow.
just deleted Twitter.
Wow. Breaking news,
But
Alexis is off Twitter.
before I got off, I wanted to retweet one of the tweets that I was talking about from someone who was, you know, coming at me, and I was just like, people wanted the usernames, so I was like, I'm just gonna give them. But
Ooh.
if anyone follows me on Twitter, I am taking a self-imposed break from Twitter right now because I am being I'm being attacked for things that are just really, really silly. And I just feel like for my own sanity, I need to just get off there. I know it's part of the territory, but it's becoming a lot and it's becoming frequent. And I guess, people are like, oh, well, that just means that you're doing something worth paying attention to, but I'm really not. I'm on Twitter. I joke around. And for whatever reason, some people have a problem with me. It's cool. But I just needed to step away. So don't take it personally if I'm not like interacting with you. I literally am deleting the app off my phone.
Yeah.
So just sharing that.
It's a shame. What I'll say right now, and people will probably like hearing this. YouTube community. It's like what I told you when we were on the phone earlier. The YouTube community has rallied around me. And I think that you should have your, at some point when you're ready, you should make your debut on YouTube. I'm sure my audience would love to, hop on one of your live streams and see what you're doing. No pressure, but I think you guys here on YouTube have been more than welcoming. Just within the last 7 days, okay, I've had nearly 1,000 new subscribers. I've had 5,000 over 5,000 now watch hours. I've had people like I mean we've gone over 218 people in a stream at that moment. And I just feel like this is such a more welcoming community. People don't try to quote tweet you to put you down. They show up, they comment, you comment back, or you interact with them and they'll love you. And that's the thing is I think this community is by far the best that I've ever been a part of. And I know there's some people on here from Twitter and people on here from you know, Facebook. And for that reason, I swear by it. You guys are the best. You know, the YouTube community is the best, and we have 43 people. This is what I'm talking about, Alexis. It is past midnight on the East Coast, and you know we're at 43 people watching live. You know, I capped out at about 38 on Facebook. They wouldn't really share my video anywhere. So I mean, I just think at the end of the day, the YouTube community is by far takes the cake. You don't have to worry about it. Oh, also, by the way, Alexis, when you get to 1,000 subscribers, here's what you can do. You can start tweeting. You could post like Twitter on YouTube. So there you go. Like you build that. You know what I mean? That's my what is it? I'm trying to talk you into YouTube. That is my I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I'm going to get on YouTube. I am.
I'm
This
hyped.
this is something that I would tweet if I still had the damn app on my phone, which I don't. I'm having a logistical problem right now as
Mm,
terms of a setup, and I know that it's something a lot of people have approached me about, and I have to figure out how I'm going to do it logistically. I want to do it, but if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right, and I want to I want it to be first class like your thing, Jake. So I
oh,
have
you're
to
too
I
kind.
I have to get it together, and I have to I would say it's probably going to be a month or so, but I am going to get on YouTube. Until then, I will be on Twitter when I get the app back on my phone. I saw someone's comment on there, which was spot on, that said, Alexis is protecting herself, and that's really what I'm doing because,
Yeah,
um, for me right now on Twitter, it's just gotten really like toxic for things that I can't control, and I want to get back on there, and when I get back on there, I'm not going to change who I am because people want to find reasons to have a problem with women. But I do think that sometimes for your own mental health you got to step away and just there's just no point. I mean, there's the
I
saying of
agree.
don't let bullies get to you, and I don't let the bullies get to you, but when it begins to kind of change how I interact and how I tweet things, then it becomes a problem for me because I don't want to have to feel like I have to change who I am. And that's kind of what was starting to happen because of the way that I was getting attacked and everything. So I'm just stepping away. I'll be back in a few days. I'm not deleting my Twitter by any means. I've already lost so many followers since tweeting that I'm getting off, which is kind of a bummer, but it's okay. Um, so yeah, and I want to do videos. A lot of people have asked me about that. I want to do it. I really do, and I will do it.
I get
I've
comments
figured
like, "Are
out.
you doing ASMR like Alexis?" Because I was
Yeah,
typing, and they're like, "Is that like an ASMR thing? Why can I hear you typing? Like, stop that!" Like, it's like I'm not Alexis, so you can't ask me to do that. But uh,
yeah,
well, hey, what I'll say before you say what you're gonna say, I'm gonna say this: you can subscribe to Alexis. Let's build up that account. Let's subscribe to her. She's not gonna blow up your feed right now because she doesn't have any videos. But let's subscribe to her. Let's get her to 1,000. Okay, that's my hope for you guys. If you guys can do that, just hit her icon. She just chatted in there because I see people are like, I'd subscribe to her if she had a channel. She does. So go and subscribe to that channel. Alexis, you can change the name of it if you want. Personally, I kept Jake Ellenbogen as my name, and it's working out pretty well. So I think you could go with your name. That's your brand. So hit that subscribe on Alexis. It's Alexis Kraft, and let's build that thing up.
yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
promoting it, and that way you'll have a platform to stand on as soon as you're ready to start doing videos.
Yeah, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to keep it Alexis Kraft. I mean, I'm going to be doing a lot on there. I will be doing the ASMR videos because I know that people like that for whatever reason. If you
Because it
aren't
was funny.
familiar, well, they are on YouTube if you guys want to check them out. I made two satirical ASMR videos. They're not seriously ASMR. I'm basically making fun of ASMR while I'm doing it. I don't understand it, but it's fun to make the videos, and they're about football. So you can check them out if you want. One of them I made when I was in New York for the draft a couple years ago with Jake, and he's not in the video, but you can, can hear him because you are there. And it's just a fun thing that I like to do. I will be doing it again. I have better equipment now, so I know I need to do it with the actual proper equipment. And I'm excited to get on YouTube because, like you said, I think that people on there are super supportive, and I think that Twitter has become um, very pretentious, and at times it's just used as a tool to really try to bring people down. And I feel like it seems like YouTube is really about lifting people up. And I love Twitter. I'm not going to get off Twitter. I'm not going to stop changing what I do on there, but I do want to expand, and I do want to kind of embrace a new community and be able to meet even more people and expand upon what I've been doing on Twitter. I don't really use Facebook or Instagram for anything involving football. So it's really just been Twitter for me. And lately, that has just not gone over well for me
Yeah.
for a lot of different reasons.
Well, I
But,
mean, has it
it's
gone over
okay.
well
It's
for
part of
me?
it.
I mean, it was you today. It was me yesterday. I won't get too much into it because I don't really want to talk about politics and race on here. But as you know, I'm not a racist, and someone tried to claim I was, and they had no basis. And we talk about mob and cancel culture and everything, but um, I will say I did really appreciate. I'm gonna call it the Bogan mob because they had my back, and it was really cool. It's nice to know, people have your back. People had, AJ dealt with it the other day as well. William Schulte, also give him a follow in case he ever, a subscription in case he ever tries to do YouTube. He's a great dude, and you'll probably see him on a video or something. I've tried to get him on, but I mean, that's kind of the thing is, like, I feel like these people here, I've kind of rallied around you guys because I originally. So here's the story of how this started, Alexis. The YouTube video stuff, I won't really get too far into because there's not really a story. I just decided to start doing it. Adam was doing it. He told me to get into it. My dad's been asking me to get into it for 3 years. And then then I was doing it. And then, of course, we leased this office. And now I feel more interested in it. But what I will say is that I did a test live stream that went live, and I wasn't even trying to go live. And people just kept pouring in, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is more than I get on Facebook when I'm trying to get people to come in. So I did the test stream, and I didn't get off. And then the next day, I had people in my DMs on Twitter like, hey, can you do another stream? Those were awesome. You're like, we need a true Rams streamer. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a true like Rams streamer. I want to be here for you guys, of course. But anybody asks any questions, I want to be like an ask me anything type of person. Well, little did I know that I was going to turn into a daily streamer, and it's literally every night. It's been all different times. I can't commit to a certain time because my life is hectic, and I'm trying to watch game film, and obviously we have the podcast, and I'm trying to have somewhat of a social life. But at the same time, I just really enjoy the interactions. And when I see people, I schedule these, and I see people waiting, like they're waiting to see me. I'm like, this community is just amazing, and there's nobody like them. It's just it's really cool, and like people will literally subscribe. You know how we have those push notifications that you can add on Twitter, where like people have them for Adam Schefter anytime he breaks news. Imagine people doing that for you. So anytime you drop a video, people literally hit the bell icon so they can get your videos immediately. Like I have people join my live streams immediately when they drop. And I'm not even talking about like when I've already started. I mean when they're scheduled. And I just think it's just the community is so underrated, it's overlooked, but YouTube is growing. And I'll tell you right now, YouTube's the place to be. Sports commentary, I think your comedy would go very well over here, doing like a live stream with your comedy and like adding your sports and your ASMR. I think you just absolutely kill it. And so, that's pretty much what I can say with that. But are they not finding you on here? Because I have you on.
I don't know. I was in the chat, and that's like the account that I guess I'd use, even though I think it's under a really old email. It is. I could probably change that, but
But I mean, I'm able to because I follow you. So Well,
Let
I
me go to
subscribe
my
to you.
let me go to my channel that is empty.
Of course,
Um,
I can't put your
it
name
says
in
I have
without you
two
coming up on.
subscribers,
You have 2 subscribers. Okay.
but I've had that for a while. I don't know who they are, but I somehow have two subscribers, I guess. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Guys, I like I said, I want to be on YouTube. I do not fully understand it yet. But I will, and it will be under just Alexis Kraft, and it should be Jake. I don't know. There's he someone said post the link in the description and access it so you can access it. Okay, let me try doing that. I
uh,
don't again, I really don't don't
do you
know
have
what
a
I'm doing,
video
but
up?
I have a video up.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm trying to find it. It's like,
There's a couple Alexis Crafts, but I shouldn't have a video up. If I do, then
well,
I don't know about it.
let me see here. So channels.
I do. I have the ASMR stuff up, but I uploaded that I think
Well,
under Downtown Rams. I thought maybe I didn't.
yeah,
Okay,
there's
here's
2
a link
Downtown
to
Sports
what's.
Network ones, so that's an issue. I don't know why that's the case.
I just posted a link. Everyone, you're so sweet. They're like, we're trying. I don't know how to get my channel on there. I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't even know that I had a channel. I just thought I had an account. I don't have any videos.
Well, hold on. I think I
Um,
can find you because I'm going to. So you subscribed. Okay. Oh shit! I
truly, I'm
totally
sorry,
subscribed to
guys.
that person by
Okay,
accident.
while Jake figures it out, because Jake will figure it out. He will.
Yes, I will.
I'm going back to the chat so you guys can all inform me of things. But yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, totally feel free in the meantime if you are on Twitter. I will be off for a few days. Probably I'll be back sooner than later because I truly do will miss my friends on there, but I just needed to
I don't know if
get
you
off.
saw, but I put your Twitter handle um
Yeah, I
in
see
the
it on the
ticker.
screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have long straight hair? No, not in the picture that on the picture that
uh, let's see.
someone said I'm chasing clout.
All right.
I'm not sure I know what that means, but see, people are like tagging Alexis Kraft in the chat. Still can't. Is my account private? Is
It
there
might be
settings? Let me go to
private, but
settings.
I've seen it before. I just
Privacy. There's nothing there about my account. Okay,
huh.
account.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
problem is you don't come up. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
I don't want to say my email that it's under because but okay,
Well, you don't have to say your
privacy.
email.
I'm so sorry everyone has to listen to me be like an 80-year-old woman trying to figure out how to operate.
Nah, you good.
Um,
Because the thing is, look, like we didn't.
people and sharing.
We're still in the 30s, by the way, for viewers. So like these people are loyal. They'll stay. Like they know how it
Guys,
is.
bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know. I think that people should be able to find my account. Here, let me log out of my account, sign out, and
Oh
see if
no.
I can Google.
Now you'll never be able to sign back in. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I have automatic sign in on it. So
Okay, okay.
I do have an account. I just
Yeah, I'm
sign me
trying to
back in
find it.
automatically.
Let's see. Channel. That's
Okay,
not Alexis
guys, while
Craft.
Jake and I do this, everyone drop your favorite flavor of ice cream in the chat.
Nice. I
I am curious about these types of things and very into it. So drop your favorite flavor. While you're doing that, I will tell you that my favorite flavor is cotton candy, and I've recently
what?
discovered a place. Yeah. Have I not told you that?
No, you've not.
I cotton candy ice cream. Of course, now YouTube's taking forever to load. Cotton candy. I swear to God, I found the best cotton candy ice cream I've ever had in my life. I just had it the other day. Is from Main Street Creamery in St. Louis. But hold on. Yeah, my account is not showing up on here when I sign out. So weird.
That is
You
weird.
guys are right.
What is
I
I've
don't
seen it
understand.
though. That's the weird thing. Like I remember.
Okay, chocolate brownie cookies and cream. Yes.
Well, Alexis, why don't
Um,
you okay, so you're logged in, right?
I'm about to. It's something probably in my privacy settings where it's like maybe I have like a hidden account
Go to
or
my
something. Like
channel and comment on the community section of it, and then I'll be able to click on your account.
I am. I was in the chat,
No,
like the
my
chat on the video.
channel. Like go to the
Okay.
community on my channel itself, not the video,
Okay.
but the channel
Okay.
itself.
I don't
Um,
know the difference, but I'm gonna just go to your
sometimes I
channel. Um,
mint chocolate
guys,
chip. There we go.
I promise I'm smarter than I look. I have a master's degree, but I can't work freaking YouTube. Okay. Um, okay, go to your channel and okay, community, hit community. Okay, comment. I'm gonna comment on this
Yes.
live stream. Okay.
No, not the live stream. You comment under one of my posts. So like the
Oops.
going live after Rams tomorrow or whatever. That through the games tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. That is me.
Okay.
Comment.
So you dropped a comment and okay, I see two comments, but I don't see you. You have some crazy privacy setting on.
Somehow I'm both relieved and annoyed.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
okay.
you don't want to be private on YouTube. These people are amazing and they want to
I know I
support
want
you.
them all to follow me and I want to follow them, but like how am I supposed to Okay, privacy. Guys, when I'm on privacy, it just says keep all my saved playlists private, keep all my subscriptions private.
Well, let me see. So you're in settings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Account. Now I'm going to account. Advanced settings. No. I have a channel ID.
Privacy.
I'm going back to this stream because I trust that
What I
people in our
wonder
chat.
what I wonder is that you are let's see here. I wonder if you are verified. Like maybe you haven't like done the whole email verification thing. You know what I mean?
Account.
The Google account. Like I don't know. Maybe you
I'm going to my Google account settings.
yeah, no, that's probably it. It's probably the manage
Security. No secure. Okay. Security. People and sharing. Mm,
no.
choose what others see. Make that's personal info. Home.
It shouldn't be this hard.
Privacy and personalization. Security issues. We will figure it out. I really wanted to figure it out
Why don't you make a new
right
one?
now.
Make a new one with your new email.
Okay, let me try this. Let me try using a different email that I have. All right, guys.
All right, we got this. We got
Very
this.
exciting. On the edge of our seats.
I'm so proud of all of you because we're still over 30 views and we really haven't had content since. Although I will give you
Why do
credit.
you guys love why do you guys love me more than people love me in my real life?
Well, I don't know.
Answer me. Okay. Username. Oh,
She's
but
a
it has to be a
spy for the
Gmail account.
US government.
Okay, that is a rumor that was started a while ago. Okay. Do I have a criminal justice degree?
Yes.
Yes. Why? So in order to create a YouTube account, you have to create a Google account? What? What?
Oh,
It's not letting me.
Go back to your account. Duh. I feel
Okay,
so stupid. So,
I'm back.
um AJ just said go to your channel. So you have the account channel and then click the account channel link.
Okay,
So
guys, I gotta get back on YouTube. It took me to Gmail or Google. So, okay, I'm going to here.
top
Okay, I have a notification. Oh, I have a new subscriber, Gumby Jesus.
Yep, he just said that he followed you. So
So
there.
they can find me somehow.
Ted Rudolph
Okay.
said she seems like someone that would have a great YouTube channel. Yeah, I agree. She
I
would
have a very
thrive.
chaotic energy. I have a very chaotic energy, but a lot of people
Oh,
need
hold
that
on
in
a
their
sec.
life.
Whatever you just did, put yourself back on the map.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know what you did, but like I can see you now.
I didn't do anything
So I don't know what's
that I
happening,
know.
but all right. So I'm gonna drop this. I have your URL. As weird as that sounds. All right, I'm dropping.
Okay, guys,
We
follow my empty channel full of broken dreams and optimism.
yeah,
All
broken
right.
dreams and optimism. There we go.
Okay, I'm going back to your streams. I want to see what everyone is sending. I was like in a, you know what movie I watched last night with Hunter? I watched my brother, who's like a Marvel fanatic. I watched Endgame.
Oh,
Can you
Endgame.
hear me?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear
okay,
you. We
yeah.
we saw Endgame together. You cried.
Okay, I did cry. I cried in the theater, and Jake could see me and hear me
I felt so
crying. But
bad. I actually wanted to cry in support of your crying.
Gumby Jesus, you did follow me. I'm very. Oh, Lunchbox just subscribed. See, now I'm getting notifications on my phone. I didn't know I was logged
Let's
into.
blow it up. Let's blow it up. Blow up her phone. Come on, let's go. Let's get her to
Man.
1,000 right now.
Yeah, let's replace all my Twitter notifications with YouTube
Yes, there
notifications.
we go. Now we're cooking with gas.
I feel very bad because I feel like I've unleashed a hate campaign
Against Twitter.
against no, against the guy that like one of the guys that was bullying me on Twitter because I retweeted it
I don't. It's not.
and
It's
shared
all
it.
right. All right. It's not a hate campaign. I just saw the tweet. The guy called you a slut.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
like
he did.
he can burn to the ground for all I care. And everyone knows that I'm very nice on here, but yeah, that guy can burn. I don't care.
Like, listen, guys, I made a joke, okay? I made a joke about Aaron Rodgers because I have a crush on Aaron Rodgers. Is that a crime?
Nope.
Okay, is that a crime? I made a joke about Aaron Rodgers. I shared a meme that was a little suggestive. It was a little suggestive. Looking back, would I have done it again? No. It was probably not like it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't, disrespectful or anything, but it was a funny kind of slightly suggestive tweet, and people wanted to call me all these names for it and all this, and I was like, guys, what the hell is going on? I don't understand why this is happening, but we've learned the lesson that I'm not allowed to be funny on Twitter anymore, so
Yes.
instead I'm going to be funny on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah, you guys ready for like the funniest YouTube channel to ever grace YouTube? Well, no, there you have it. I
Do
know
you guys want to watch me get caramel out of my teeth for 20 minutes, because that's what you would have been watching right now?
that's the new OnlyFans. I'm gonna sit there and get
Yeah.
caramel out of my teeth for 20 minutes while you spend money on me. Jake and I bought the
Yeah.
shovels for that dude already.
You know what I'm thinking? He, according to his profile, lives in Arizona. And I got some really bad messages from a Cardinals fan a few days ago.
Oh.
And I'm not saying it's him,
Don't give me his address.
but I'm saying it, what a coincidence that the first guy to harass me was the Arizona Cardinals fan, and the second guy to harass me is from Phoenix. I'm not saying that it's the same guy, because the first guy who sent me all of those messages
If the shoe
did it under a
fits.
fake name.
But if the shoe fits, then, posting
You
it
know?
again. Yeah, no, I think you're connecting the dots there, and it's a little scary.
I'm eating caramel again. Sorry, guys. I'm very embarrassed by this.
No worries. So, all right. So go hit that. Give her. Is that Sprite? Canada Dry must be getting some shovels as we speak. So all right. I gotta catch you up to speed, Alexis. I've done about 9 or 10 streams, and every single stream I had Canada Dry. But recently we ran out in the office, and now we're with Sprite. So I like Sprite. I've been drinking it, and I'm drinking it on camera. And now people are like, "All right, so Jake's cheating on Canada Dry. There's an issue now." And so AJ was saying, in regards to that guy, he's saying that Jake and I bought the shovels for that dude already. And then Baraka Flower 1 is like, is that a Sprite? Canada Dry must be getting some shovels as we speak. I've literally cheated on my drink of choice, and I don't know. That's funny. Is that not funny? Are you going to sit there just in silence? Sheesh.
Sorry, I had to log back into Twitter and clarify something because I got attacked again.
Oh. All right.
I can't win. I'm deleting it. I'm getting on YouTube. I'm flying to YouTube planet, and I'm living there forever.
YouTube planet. Oh boy.
I'm trading in my iPhone for a camera, and
You're
I'm
trying.
just gonna record videos.
Well, hey, there's some great options out there. There is also a little studio over here in case you ever are in the area.
Well, Jake,
The one that
funny
I'm
you should
sitting in
mention that.
there.
Funny you should mention that because the rumor mill is that I'm going to be in that studio for the draft.
Are you now? Is that
Now,
breaking news on the Jake Ellenbogen live stream?
I'm going to be honest with you. I got a call from my agent. I got a call from my manager. I got a call from all these people that are telling me that there's a show up there that I need to do.
Ah.
And that a certain Jake Ellenbogen is inviting me on to his show for the draft. That bit did not turn out the way that I wanted it to, but I'm rolling with it anyway.
Yeah. How should I put it? How should I put it in the ticker here? Breaking.
Breaking. Alexis Kraft bought first class plane ticket by Jake Ellenbogen. No, I'm just kidding. I can never. I don't want to do first class. I can't afford that
It's a
shit.
waste, honestly.
I fly Southwest, man.
Same
But
here.
that's besides the point. The point is not that I will be spending $8 on Wi-Fi for a 2-hour flight. The point is that I will be in New York for the NFL draft this year, bearing any other potential setbacks due to COVID, unless this thing gets way worse, because already there's kind of like a thing that I have to sign before I travel to New York. But as of now, I will be going.
So that is on the ticker. Um, so I think we just broke some pretty crazy news for 29 of you that are still with us here. AJ
We
says
broke some news.
AJ says breaking Alexis Kraft pulls caramel out of her teeth while Rams draft Dylan Moses. Oh, I'm so here for that. Let's do it. Oh God,
Can you
don't
tweet
die.
that, someone? I'm dying. Breaking news: Alexis Kraft died on the live stream before she could ever make her first YouTube video.
Oh my God. You just wrote it.
What
A
was
tragedy.
guys, Drake, drop the link to that ASMR video that I made. I promise you guys,
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
when what Jake and I are doing are over, if you guys don't know a little backstory, um, I was in New York for the draft 2 years ago, so 2019,
This is true.
and we did a live stream for all 3 days of the draft. It was excruciating. It was painful. I deserved an Emmy Award for it. But after that, I made an ASMR video because I joked. I kept trashing ASMR, and then I said I would make a video in jest, and then I ended up making it. And it was basically just a recap of the draft, and it was made on the fly. It was totally improv. It's either completely trash or it's comedy gold. It depends on where you fall. Okay, I'm not making a case for one side or the other, but you should watch it because that is going to be a little preview of what my channel might be like. Or you know what? Actually, maybe they should watch the second one. The second one was a little better. But I had way more bad takes on the second one, so actually don't.
I think the
I'm
first one
embarrassed.
was the best. But I'm also
Yeah.
biased. You were in my house. You were using my beautiful microphone that I'm using, the SM7B by Shure. Oh, by the way, Alexis Kraft also uses that on the podcast that you can check out, Downtown Rams podcast. Shameless plug. But anyway.
I will be auctioning off that mic when I go broke.
Oh,
you you will be one day when I'm old and broke because I've spent all my money on Chanel that I can't afford.
oh my
I
God.
will be selling the Shure mic. I have planned out for this.
Oh boy.
I'm very embarrassed by the fact that I've thought about this, and I have.
Everyone
So.
is going to leave to watch the ASMR video. Our views started dropping when we did that. But
Okay,
hey,
it's
it's
worth
worth
it,
it.
guys.
It's worth it.
It's late. It's worth it. Go watch the ASMR video. It's not as good quality as what's going to be on the channel, but it is worth looking into.
That's a good
Say
way of
that.
putting it. That's a very
It's
good way of
worth
putting it.
exploring. It's worth seeing what my ASMR channel could be. I'm literally laughing when I say my ASMR channel because so many people who create and I'm not trying to diss it because it like the people who actually are into it, they do it so good. But like the point of mine is it's supposed to be kind of
A
I don't know.
joke.
I don't think we're allowed to curse on here. Yeah, but I think
You can. All right, go ahead and curse. Go ahead and
it's
curse.
shitty. It's shitty ASMR,
All
Jake.
right, there we go.
It's sloppy. And
YouTube
I
allows you to
just
curse, by the way, so all
I
bets
didn't
are off when you
see. I
get the
don't know
channel.
why oh God, just imagine me
I shouldn't
making
have
my
told you
parents
that.
making my parents even more proud of when I'm dropping the F bomb on my
Oh my
streams. But
god.
that's another thing. I think that's why it's good that I'm getting off Twitter for a bit because I was getting really out of control, and I'm like, I know my parents or my pastor is going to come across this one day because because my real name my real name is on it, and all it's gonna my pastor's gonna be on my Twitter. And look at I tweeted today that I really needed the Bills to win so I could be thrown onto a table.
Oh my god.
And I did tweet that. That is a real
Oh.
thing that I tweeted and that I said and I stand by. And I was like, it's gonna be out there. That one's not as bad as the Aaron Rodgers thing, but I can't ever come back from that.
Yeah, I
That was the
thought that
White
was
Claw.
funny. I thought that was funny, but
People would think it was more funny if I were important, but I'm not important. So people are like, you're not cool enough to get away with that. Like, I'm
Trevor
like, okay, that's fair.
Trevor
That's
Robinson
fair.
said Jake spews F bombs all the time. I'm like, well, I'm sitting here thinking, no, I don't. Like, but then I'm like, okay, so on Twitter, I used one yesterday for the first time I've ever used it really on Twitter. I maybe used it 3 times on Twitter. I never used it on the podcast, never used it on here. So you must be in my house. You must have a because I curse so much. It's ridiculous, but as soon as I'm in ask Alexis, we've talked about this. As soon as I'm in this type of environment, I have this filter that is like I don't know. It's amazing. It's not a Brita filter. It's like a good filter. So you know yeah, no, nobody got that joke, but you get my point. Alexis, when you agree, like you hear me and our conversations off air, like I will curse, but
Yeah.
when we're on air, I do a good
Well,
job of turning that off and the filter.
yeah, I know. I curse too. And, my sense of humor is just, well, I say my sense of humor as if I'm funny. I think what it is things that I find funny are not always like appropriate. And, hence the jokes that I made on Twitter today that were sexual in nature towards Aaron Rodgers. Um, I would not have done that if I had a chance to do it again. But I think the point is like people, and I think especially because I'm a girl, but I think they've probably done it to you. But I think people like find reasons to be pissed off. Like I don't understand. And like the one tweet that I shared is from a guy. They're like, "Oh, so you'll complain about guys messaging you, but so you'll complain about guys messaging you, but then you'll tweet sexual things." I'm like, "Listen, guys were messaging me like very vile, disgusting, degrading comments. Guys who like one don't know me, and two, you should never talk to a woman you don't know, even women that you do know, unless they're like there's like consent there that way." I was like, I tweeted something about a famous quarterback, a meme that was yeah, I mean it was sexual in nature. I probably wouldn't do it again, but I wasn't like on Twitter talking about all these vile vulgar things I would do to his body. Like, you know what I mean? But yet I'm made to look like the hypocrite or the bad guy, and I'm just like, ugh, that's why I can't take Twitter anymore. Can't do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have people that are on there, and you and I texted about this, and it was like, everybody's out for themselves, and not people like AJ. AJ got very unfairly treated, and I won't get too much into it because it is pretty graphic, and people were putting him in just a horrible light, and he's one of the nicest people I've met. Again, the good thing about Twitter, if Twitter didn't exist, you and I wouldn't be talking. You wouldn't have been my co-host. I never would have met you. Just so many things would have changed. AJ wouldn't be in here. Well, he might be in here. I don't know how you would find me, but like Twitter's been huge for furthering our, whatever this is, venture, everything. But I will say that, like you said, there's a lot of truth to what you said when you were telling me, um, just via text. You were like, "Hey, this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the fact, people just use quote tweets to get ahead and get on top of people and put people down, and it's all about clout. And it's no longer, it's social media, but it's no longer being social. It's being antisocial and being rude and demeaning and just tearing people down. And that's something, as many people on this channel know, and we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, and I love every single one of them. People on here do not trash others. I think for the people that are still on right now, they can attest to maybe a couple instances, but nothing has gotten too bad. One guy spammed the same thing 5 times, and another guy started clowning, like he did the whole like the Rams are back in Cabo, so he was like clowning the Rams fans. But this isn't a Rams channel, so he had the right to do that, and it wasn't like he was going at somebody. There's been no sexual harassment. There's been, obviously I'm a dude, so I mean it's not really expected, but again, there's been no anything like that. There's not really been vulgar talk. People for the most part don't even curse in the comments. I've been really impressed by this community, and I just found this community, I think, I want to say at the end of early December. And the streaming community I found in 2021, like pretty recently, like within the last week or so. But they're just top notch, and I think that's really what it is. And yeah, I mean, exactly, AJ. I just think you were onto something there with Twitter, and we could talk for a while, and we have different viewpoints on where the country's going and all of that, but we don't have to get into that. What we can agree on is the fact that people have taken a good platform, a platform that we can use to self-promote, connect, reconnect, and rekindle. And instead, they've now turned it into something where it's like hate. It's like, let's get people in trouble for something they didn't do. Let's try to, stir the pot and, the cancel culture. And I said it. I think cancel
Yeah.
culture, I understand exposing people for, wrongdoings and things like that. But what if people aren't doing anything wrong and you're, creating a crime that's not there? It's just, it's really upsetting to see not only you go through that and AJ go through that. Obviously, it's annoying I go through that. It's annoying because you know what I want to say, and I try to act professional on Twitter, and I don't say it, but it pisses me off, and it's like, people, if they looked at YouTube and they looked at the way these people are sitting here watching us talk on a Sunday night, and now it's Monday morning for me. I literally have work in less than 8 hours. They're listening to us talk, and they're enjoying it, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't been super interactive with the audience, and it's because we've been having such a great conversation back and forth, where it's been a show in a sense where like other people have come on, and I've had people call in. It's a new feature I added to this channel where people can call in, but this one I really wanted to get you on here. It wasn't just to promote you to YouTube. It wasn't trying to get you over and cross you over to the side, but I just feel like, with everybody here, I thought that they would really enjoy, your company, and I think they have. I mean, we still have 27 people in this chat or this live stream, and again, it's 12:41 a.m.
Yeah. No, totally. And I agree. I think that it's one thing to quote unquote cancel somebody when they do something really horrible, like they do something, to women, they assault women, or they, commit crimes or things like that. That's totally one thing. But when people are starting to get canceled for something that they said that was harmful or harmless, I mean, I just think it's sad if somebody's trying to make a joke and it doesn't land. That's something that I've learned with comedy. You just blow it off.
Yeah.
But there's one thing to make a joke and it not land, or for people to be like, yeah, I think that wasn't it. But that's not a reason to be canceled. The reason to be canceled is like saying really threatening or malicious things to people, especially repeatedly. And I think that unfortunately we've kind of moved away from that, and I do think it's sad. And I think it's sad that um, people on the internet feel like they can hide behind a fake username and profile picture and say what they want to people that they don't know, really harmful and degrading and hurtful things, and get away with it. I don't think it's okay. I don't think that you should be allowed to do that to people on the internet without consequence. I mean, you could say whatever you want, but you're not allowed to threaten people. You can talk about the First Amendment right. They're like, oh, it's a free country. I'm like, yeah, you could be mean, but you can't really threaten people. You can't harass people. You can't do that type of thing. But it's whatever. I'm just I'm excited to figure out how to do YouTube.
Yeah, I'll help you every step of the way.
I'm
And
gonna take a
yeah.
master class on how to upload comments.
Yeah, no, like I said, you get to 1,000 subscribers, and then all of a sudden it's like another social media where you can start posting like posts, and it's it's really cool. I like I said, I just feel like this community just trumps everyone else, and I didn't realize this until pretty recently, and I would absolutely say that my cousin Adam, who's not here right now, he would say the same because his channel, Adam Steele, he started in August, a Steelers channel, almost up to 6,000 subscribers. So it's like, he's killing it. I've grown in a short amount of time. You'll grow, and I think the cool thing is this will not only help you and I as far as our own personal brand, but I think it'll also help Downtown Rams. It'll help other things in the near future that any things that you may want to drop or may not want to drop. I'll leave it at that. But I think when you create a good character, and your person is very likable, people like listening to you. That you build a personal brand, and at the end of the day, if people like you, they like your personal brand, they're going to check you out in other areas. It's like same thing with music. You have something like my favorite band, Starset. The lead singer, Dustin Bates, he is liked by obviously the Starset community, Starset Society, whatever you want to call them. Huge fans. And then he comes out with MNQN, which is his own, solo project, and people flocked to it and they gave it a shot because of what he built with Starset. So it's kind of the same thing. If you do well on YouTube, then, people will check out other content as well, and I think this is the best platform. I really do. And I didn't know it was
Yeah.
the best platform until, fairly recently. It's because these amazing people in there. And also, shout out to my father who's somehow still watching and should probably be going to bed because he's got work tomorrow just like I do. But I'm the animal in the office and you're probably in your bed right now. So go to bed. Love you.
Well, yeah, and I know we are going to get off here soon, but
Yeah.
yeah, as far as the YouTube thing, I mean, until honestly today, I didn't really understand YouTube. I knew it was a thing, but like I didn't know that you could live stream, really. I thought that you just made videos and uploaded and that type of thing. So I'm definitely learning. Like I said, this is not my domain. I don't understand how it works. Um, I didn't realize it was that popular. I didn't, I didn't get it. But now I get it, and I'm going to get involved. And I know it's something like I've said that a few times, but I really am, and I know that people have asked me about it, and so I want to do it. And figure out how to do it, and I will, hopefully making people laugh and creating good stuff. We'll see. But I mean, thank you to everyone who subscribed to me so far. I still don't understand how to find my channel, but I am there. I know Jake put it in the chat or whatever. But yeah, that will be the account that I upload from. So
Let's see. Where you
um
at right now? Let's okay,
I don't really
you're at
know.
15 subscribers. Not bad. We'll get you up there. No worries.
Really? How? I thought I was at 4. I saw only 2 people. I don't
Cuz I have
Guys,
great people in the community.
I promise you I'm good at technology.
I don't think they
um
believe you there, but they'll support you.
I see only 15. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I do see it now. Like I said, I'm very good at every this is the last social media I have to conquer. Um so
Yeah.
I'll do it. I will
You're good at
come
that
and I will
Instagram thing.
conquer.
I'm not.
Um
But you're good at the
yeah,
Instagram thing. You
Instagram,
took Downtown Rams to another level. You have your great Instagram account. And I
yeah,
suck at
my
Instagram, and anything I try to start, I'm like, how the hell do I get followers? Like you people can follow me on Instagram at JK Bogan, but like I have like 700 followers. Like I don't get a lot, and I don't really like the platform to be honest with you. So you know.
Well, I think the first step I need to do is I need to get a camera because I don't have one, and I'm going to get a camera, and I want to do it right. And I'm going to do it. So we will see. I'm hoping that within the next month. I mean, I guess I could make a live streamer video with before I get the camera. I could just do
Yeah.
like just a really kind of raw like video, like not super professional, and then do that later when the video comes. But like I'm also in the process of moving, so I just don't really have like a good place to do it. But I will figure it out, and I will be on YouTube. And like I said, you can follow me on Twitter. I know it's on the screen. Um Someone said we still love you, Alexis, when you're horrible at social media. Okay. I'm not I am good at social media that doesn't involve YouTube. I promise. If you go to my Twitter is kind of a shit show right now because a lot of shit went down. But if you go to my Twitter, I'm good at Twitter. Okay, I am. But
Oh man, that's funny.
I'm gonna figure out YouTube. Like I could never like you have your setup right now, like with the stream the banner at the bottom and like I couldn't do that.
Well, I'll figure
I'm gonna
that
have to have
out
someone
for
do it
you.
for me.
Yeah, I'll do that for you
Yeah.
when you come out to New York. And then we'll get you. How about this? I'll have you stream on my laptop,
Yeah, your
and
laptop's better than mine. I have the old version of your computer.
we'll get you on the laptop. And I mean, this could probably be after the draft or before it, but we can get you on the laptop, do a live stream, maybe a post or post. Yeah, let's do a pre-regular pre I can't even talk, pre NFL draft live stream, and then a post NFL draft live stream. And then what I'll do is I'll link that video on my YouTube posts, and I have everyone go and do that. And then you don't even have to talk about the NFL draft, just like get people amped and talk about whatever, it's like it's the same thing with this. It's like all you need at the end of the day when you're doing a live stream is you need this is the key. You need a good, engaging thumbnail. I created one that said featuring Alexis Kraft, so everyone knew what you were bringing to the table. That knew you. People that didn't were like, "Oh, that's interesting. He hasn't had a guest on yet." He has, but like someone call in, not somebody that starts as a guest. And then I had the Super Bowl, with the Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady graphic. So the thing is, it's all about having that thumbnail, engaging people, catching people's eye, and then they're interested, and then they come and they join it. If you don't have a thumbnail and it just shows that, it doesn't show, like, you don't look that professional. You know what I mean? You don't have a good setup. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. I'm very excited for you.
Yes, and I'm going to make an ASMR video when I'm in New York for tradition.
For tradition.
Because I wanted to do it this year, but then COVID hit, so I wasn't able obviously to travel because like the draft was literally in like the heat of COVID in April.
I
So
know.
obviously canceled that. But I am determined. I'm going to make it. I will walk. I'm gonna have to probably leave now, but should I have to walk, I'll walk. I'll get there. I will get to New York.
It's a
I
lot of
will be doing
walking.
that. Yeah, I could use the exercise though. Like,
All right. I,
like
I hear you.
I'm sitting here with a hydro jug that I bought because I'm a child and I need this if I want to make sure I drink enough water.
Oh yeah, the one that you
Um,
got for me. Yeah, those things are pretty
yeah,
awesome. Oh, by the
I
way,
kind of
aren't you
got
like 88 years old? Like, how the hell are you going to do that?
walk to New York.
Yeah, you're 88 years old. How the hell are you going to do that?
Well, I'm gonna have to strength train a little bit, which is weird because
Okay.
only have a week to do it because I'm gonna have to leave soon.
People are going to be
Maybe I'll
adjusting their
just like,
sound. Like, did he said 88, right? Like,
yeah, I'm 88 years old. So I was born in 1934 and or 1933
oh, you
math.
you you ruined
And
math is not her best, guys. It's not my best either, so it's okay.
but yeah, but in the meantime, Chantry Star, I do love you. You did subscribe to me, that you did prove yourself, and so did a green substance and all the rest of you. Thank you. Like I said, I didn't even realize people were subscribing until Jake was like, "You have 15 subscribers."
Yeah, and I can
So
post
cool.
your link, your channel link on
And
my post
I,
thing.
yes, and I am, excited to do this. But in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter. I know I deleted off my phone. I'll be back in a couple days. You can go look through my stuff if you want. It's got pretty crazy today. I really let my freak flag fly during the playoffs, and some people didn't respond well to it. Some people did. It's all good. But Jake, I do think we should wrap this up
Well, I was
because
going to end at the 2 hour mark, which we're coming up on in 15 seconds. So,
okay.
ready? You're going to take us out, and then we're going to go right into our ending card.
All right, guys, this is the end of this show.
My God.
And
Ugh.
you all were here for this experience. And I want you to think about it, let it sit with you as you go to bed tonight. I want you to close your eyes and see Jake's face and hear my voice. So, goodbye.
You can't see my face right now, but wow. All right. Well, that was very touching. You guys have a great one. I love every single one of you so very much. If you didn't, be sure to subscribe to not only me, but Alexis Kraft as well. And go and, by the way, AJ Schulte, and where's my guy? I just saw him show up. Hunter Thompson. Go follow them on Twitter. Go check out all their content. I almost said the F bomb there. They are awesome. Okay, they're great. They put out great draft content. Go check them out. They're awesome. But that's gonna do it, folks. Love you all, and I'll be back tomorrow night, per usual. So you guys take care.